Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever time it is that you happen to be watching this. Today we're going to learn how to do the Sprig, S-P-R-I-G, Sprig stitch. And it's a super easy stitch in the fan or scallop stitch family, and it's a good stitch to use into breaking up or firming up looser, more open stitches, like if you were looking for a stitch to alternate in a blanket pattern. So this starts off with multiples of 4 plus 2 plus 1 for the foundation chain. So we're going to start, after I finish fumbling around here, with a slip stitch, and let's chain 16, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, plus 2, plus 1. It's kind of short, but this is just an example of how to do the stitch. Then we are going to put 2 single crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. So the loop on the hook does not count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to put 2 single crochets in this chain. Then we chain 2 and put 2 single crochets in the next stitch. We're going to skip 2 chains. So we're going to come over here and we are going to do 2 single crochets. I don't care what anybody says, the first row is always the worst row. And we're going to chain 2, and in the next stitch put 2 single crochets. Skip 2, and in the next one put 2 single crochets. Chain 2, and in the next stitch put 2 single crochets. Skip 2, and in the next one 2 single crochets. Chain 2 in the next stitch, two single crochets. And we're skipping to our last stitch and putting a single crochet. Okay. For row 2, you're going to chain 3, keep our hair and our cat hair out of it. Okay, chain 3, put 2 single crochets and 2 chain 2s and 2 more single crochets in each of the chain 2 spaces. So we're going to come over here and we're going to do 2 singles, chain 2, 2 more singles, okay, and we just skip over to the next chain 2 space and do 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets, skip over to the next chain 2 space, oops, 2 singles, chain 2, two singles, skip over here, two singles, chain 2, two singles, and you end your row with 1 single crochet in your turning chain from the beginning of the previous row. Okay? So now all you're going to do is repeat that each time. So let's do that again. Chain 3, turn our work, come over to our chain 2 space, and do 2 single crochets, chain 2, and 2 single crochets. Jump over to our next chain 2 space, 2 singles, chain 2, and 2 singles. Jump over to our next chain 2 space, 2 singles, chain 2, and 2 singles. Jump over to the next one, 2 singles, chain 2, two singles. And we end with 1 single crochet in our turning chain. Okay. So that's how we're looking so far. Okay, so then we would chain 3, turn our work and come over to our chain 2 space and do 2 singles, chain 2, and 2 singles. Come over to our next chain 2 space, 2 singles, chain 2, and 2 singles. Jump over to the next, 2 singles, chain 2, and 2 singles. Jump over to the next one. 2 singles, chain 2, and 2 singles. And end your row with a single crochet into your turning chain. Okay. Not quite sure this was the best yarn to pick for this example, but let's work up a few more rows, and I'll do that off camera since this is a super easy 1 row repeat, and we'll see how it's looking after that. So I will be back with you in a second with the magic of video editing. Okay, so I've worked up a few more rows, and I think this would make a great scarf. I don't know if it's showing on camera, but it creates a little ridge. It also has that fan shape. You know, both sides have that little ridge going. It's a very easy, like I said, 1 row repeat. It's a nice stitch. It's still, you know, depending on the type of yarn and what size hook you use, it's got decent movement to it. But scarf, blanket, a stitch to add into a multi-stitch patterned blanket would be, this would be a good one. So that's that. The Sprig stitch. I have like 3 different works that are in progress that, let's see, actually all 3 of them I ran out of yarn and had to order more yarn. They have since come in, the yarn has since come in, and it's now which one do I want to work on, and what size hook did I use? Some of them I waited so long, I don't remember what size hook I used, and I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up. That's terrible. I'm gonna have to start keeping a notebook. That's so beginner mistake. Such a beginner mistake. So, yeah, we'll get on those and share them with you at some point. All right, thank you for watching. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share us with a friend. All of that helps us out. We appreciate you.